Hello, it is Lord Hayward. I'm streaming some 2D4X today, like I do on most weekends. We're working on some combat still from last time. You know, I didn't pull up my. I guess I'm unprepared. It's kind of strange. See, is that working? Nope, not yet. I didn't pull up my GitHub to see exactly what we were doing. I was thinking about the plan here. We need to have so currently we have it so that the oh my god, it's still not up. YouTube is very slow. No, it should be up. We currently we have it it's not finding my YouTube chat at all. On the right account. Anyways, so currently we have the one side of the combat, a person on one side randomly picks a person on the other side, shoots at them. If this person rolls to hit, then if they roll and they pass their 2-hit roll, they get a morale check. And then they're going to do another roll and it will do damage. And that if they get a hit for that, we want the damage to be kind of rare because we want it to be a bunch of amateurs shooting at each other. There we go. This finally got its act together. I feel like this takes longer and longer every time I do it. All right. So I was thinking about it more, and I think 10% chance of death is pretty good. It's about right where we want it. We can adjust it later, I guess. Like I said, we want people to not be killed, but run away for morale reasons. And I was thinking what we would also do is we would have a threshold of average morale. So basically, if the average, so at the beginning, because everyone's an amateur, if like average morale of the whole unit goes down to like 70, the whole unit runs away. But later on, we'll have training and modifiers that will bring that number way down, so that they can last longer in a fight. And that way we can have things that will improve your troops over time. Combat is I was going to say not the main focus of the game, but it is definitely important. So let's see. I did not look at this, though. What did we put on my project last time? Add damage to combat. When recruiting, some of the recruiter will stop being recruited after adding the recruited activity, but before service. I think it was because I moved the person, but we'll double check that. So yeah, that's what we got to do next. Let's pull up what we were working on here. I don't. Is it in battle control? We should move it. I think. Wait. Yeah, here it is, right here. Generate combat damage. So I was just starting on this, I believe. I know I bitch and moan about my memory all the time, but it still shocks me that I can't remember what I did last week. All right. I had an OBS update today that failed, and I was like, should I fix that before I start streaming? And I was like, no, so I hope everything's working. So where are we using this? So this is the battle control. I still don't know if, oh, maybe we already finished this. Oh, okay, no, here we go. I put in notes so I could remember what I was doing last time. All right, so this is our current, and this thing's kind of, we're going to want to probably break this into smaller chunks, you know, smaller methods, but sometimes I like to write everything out to kind of like, it's easier for me, and then later on break it into pieces, especially if we find out other parts of the code are going to be used somewhere else. So second check to see if they damage the person. So here's our first check. It does all the morale stuff. We also are going to have like some sort of leadership check in here so that your leader can actually raise the person's cool. The thing is, so let's see. Are we affecting... morale damage equals this random number, and then we set... What are we doing here? I just happened to glance at this. So we do a random number. So this is the morale damage. And then we subtract the morale damage. Oh, we're just making sure it's not 0 or not a negative number. All right. I don't know why we're doing that right there. And then we're doing some logs. That was the thing that was, I think, kind of where we were at. I was rethinking what we're going to need for the logs. But damage received. We're adding this to their hit points. I think we should be subtracting this from their hit points. It's a healing bullet. Yeah, so we're doing 1 to 10 because that's their starting hit points. Oh yeah, and so I picked starting hit points just in case we adjusted, which would actually adjust the percentage. Right now it's 10% because the starting hit points is 10, and you have to have it one above, I think. Max value. How is it? What? Returns less than equal, greater than or equal to min value and less than max value. Yeah, man. So this is going to return between 1 and 10 right now. And then we go back to our usage. Got to get my brain warmed up. So we have this damage received. This should be a negative. We take it out of their hit points. Cool check for everyone. Cool check for everyone on the person getting shot at team. So this is where we're going to do an army cool check where we haven't done this. So when someone gets... So I was thinking before when they get scared, everyone gets a check, but no, I think this is actually how we want it. So we want to for each through the whole army. What are we in? Battle control? This should be in probably battle, not. So we're gonna for each. We're gonna need a temporary list. You know what we could do? Oh, this is where I was at last time. I was thinking, like, do we want to just have a list of attackers and defenders, so we wouldn't have to create this list of the hero and his subordinates every time, and we could actually put that in the battle. Get the fuck out of here. In this battle, we have the battle location. We could have a list. I have a feeling, what was these other lists we were doing? Subordinates and all that. So what we're going to have to do is look here. I fix these every time, and then I do Control K and Control D, and it puts them back, so I don't know why I keep fixing them. So what type of list is this? This is a Godot list, so let's do this. So we have our battle. This step's in a weird order. Let's put this over here. And then let's put this here. So we have let's do a public Godot collections. That was close. List or array. And it's going to be of population data. And we're going to say aggressors army. We're going to equals that, and then we'll make a copy of that. Whoops. When you do Control C, It highlights the whole thing, which is different than Visual Studio. And I always uh, aggressor army, defender, defending army, aggressing army, Def defending army. Let's change this to attacker army. I don't know. All right. What the fuck is this? So what we'll do, this I might have made this worse. Actually, it might not be that great to do this because it just dawned on me we're gonna have to be updating this list all the time. Well, let's see. So when we do the battle, when the battle comes to fruition, when the attack happens, we're going to need to, I'm going to put a note in here. This is here so that I am reminded to create permanent combat logs so that the player can go back and look at them later. What about, how do I spell this right? Permanent. There it was. Here, this was close enough. There we go. So we'll, if we do this, so I guess we will have to be fucking with the list all the time. But I think that's not that big of a deal. Maybe it is. I don't know. Let's just go with it and we'll decide if it's a pain in the ass or not. Because I don't want to have to create these temporary lists all of every time we fuck with anything. I mean, every time we do a roll or whatnot. So let's go back to our battle control here. When we start battle, we pass in this the battle is a public class, I think. Yes. So on start battle, why do we have a break in there? This is the attacker's army. Why could any of the tokens ever, how could any of the tokens ever be null? So that's true. How could they ever be null? So let's let's get rid of that because it doesn't make attacker county population. So we're going through this list of visiting armies. We do this at the start of combat, but we remember we have there's a reinforcement thing. I'm already not liking this code. This is old code. Let's get rid of this because why would there? This is a different way of doing things. Why is there a break in here? KD, all those things that is fixed are back to where they were. Okay, so the attacker's army, visiting army list. We assign the county attacker selected token and we hide it. We move the token. So this is just, that must have been some weird, if there was a bug or something. So their unselected texture is assigned to this thing. Their morale expendable is assigned to their morale label. Sure. Whatever that is. And it sets them. Why does it say break? Because if there's more than one in the list, why is this here? Why is this here? And then on the defenders, Vas, how's it going? I'm making a strategy game, and currently we're working on. I don't know if it's gonna run because I might have a bug. Yeah, got more than one bug. It's like a post-apocalyptic game inspired by like Dominions and I don't know, CK3, the Paradox games. I guess more similar to Victoria 3. Um, right now we're working on combat. It's gonna be like the if you think of CK2 or I guess CK3 has it too, where there's just it's like there's a small little thing for combat where it just does rolls and you look at the rolls. It's similar to that. Not like Dominion's combat where there's um, graphics and things. Uh, let's see here. So this part is just setting up. I still don't know why these brakes are here. It doesn't. And then we show the battle control. At the same time, Crusader Kings, yeah, sorry. That's actually like a pet peeve of mine is when everyone talks in acronyms. Because like if you don't know exactly what they're talking about, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I just did it. I just did my own pet peeve. Yeah, Crusader Kings, there's Europa Universalis 4 does the same combat, or 3 or 2, maybe 1. Hearts of Iron, Hearts of Iron has like that combat on each little thing, where it's just like a line. They got pretty graphics, but in reality, it's just a bunch of rolled dice and then it shows, who's losing, who's hitting, there isn't actual, like the player isn't involved in moving around troops or anything. I mean, in the individual tactical battle. So what we should do, once again, I don't know why that break is there, but we should add the hero so that we're going to do battle dot attackers army. Let's actually do this. Add, we'll call it add attackers, to attackers army. And we will do this. And then we will do this. So I've been basically going through the game and making each part just the tiniest, just barely enough to make it work. And then going all the way around. So we've basically come all the way around back and we're improving the combat part. And we're making it, so before it was just like one dude fighting one dude and they just did morale damage. Now we're going to do actual, like people can die and take hits. We need to pass in. Actually, for some reason, no, we do need to pass in a population data. And it's going to be attacker hero population data. No, I am not. I am learning as I'm going. I decided one day to start. Well, I tried Godot ages ago, and I got very frustrated. And then a couple of years ago, I tried with Unity, and Unity did their big. What the fuck is this thing? Did their big blowout of where they can just change the price. So I switched back to Godot, and that was kind of a challenge. It was much more challenging than I thought switching from Unity to Godot, but now I'm just learning as I go along. Some of my code is absolute trash. So we're going to add that, but I feel like each day I get a little bit better at it. I only work on this game when I stream, and I only stream like 6 hours a week usually, just on weekends, so it's slow going. So we're gonna for each. This is gonna be a population data. Attacker subordinate population. Yeah, fuck it. We don't need that population data in there. In attacker hero. Hero subordinates. Then we're going to go, yep. Okay, so this will add, we'll have a defender. We'll make a copy of this thing. Actually, let's do this. We can just do add hero and subordinates. Subordinates. There's something wrong there. Okay. Subordinates. Subordinates. There we go. Then we'll take this. We'll stick this in here. And then we'll put in this. You know, we should. What's my day job? Hey, Crystal, how's it going? I'm an IT manager. I'm basically a glorified help desk person, but I have a good title. So then we can use the same thing. I think it's still on my clipboard here. We can add this person. What is this called? Defender county population. We don't call it county. Well, we're calling it county population up here too. We changed that a year ago. How about you? What is your day job? Are you a game developer or a developer of any sorts? Hobby or work? All right. So that will add everyone to here. I'm thinking we want to clear this list though. Let's clear this list before we do this. We can't do it here though, because we're looping through these heroes. Oh, I think I know why that thing was here. The null thing was here that I deleted. So for the defender, it makes sense, because there may be other heroes chilling. Yeah, so let's say, what did we do? What is this thing? In combat is true. Yeah, it makes sense for this. Hero token is not equal to null. It doesn't make sense for the attacker. And okay, and that's why this break is here too. Okay, so I must have copied this, and good God, fingers, work. I must have copied this from the defenders and put it in the attackers. This doesn't make any sense. This needs to go. This one here, it's just the first one. Is that going to work though? We'll have to see. It's not going to work, I don't think. So the defenders, we're also going to need to clear this, but. So the attackers, you move your little token down there. There only can be one of them, but there could be another one on the way. They can't happen at the same time. So we can't clear the attackers because we might need to add to it. But this will actually, no, we can clear the attackers because this is going to add everybody who's standing around in that visiting army list. So we can clear it up here. So we'll go. I don't know why we have this battle up there either. We'll go battle, attacker's army, clear. So that will clear this off. Then for the defender's army, it's only grabbing the first one. And we're setting in combat true for this one person. There could be multiple people, though. We need some other indicator. I think we did this in combat. We talked about this last weekend. And I did this, but I don't think this is going to solve our problem, actually. So basically what it is that there could be multiple defenders in the... There can be people who are defending, and then there also can just be heroes hanging out in there. But I guess that's what this is? We'll have to test it. All right, so then we're going to add... These guys are in this new list. And then on the hourly change... What do we got going on here? See, this is that temporary list I was talking about. Oh, look, we did the add range. I forgot about that. I forgot about the add range, and I learned that last week. Oh, is willing to fight is the thing we added. What the fuck is this in combat thing, then? So this is in the token. Here a token has something called in combat. Change this to an enum. I mean, here's a note from my past self. Does it say when this note was made? No, this is so old. It's before I switched to writer. And there's fleeing. Okay, we should change that. We should get rid of... Well, this isn't... We'll have to move it to population data, too. And we'll do that in a sec here. All right, so in battle, we have a list of the armies. This needs to go, then. And then we need to go... battle... Let's change attackers, defenders. Yeah. No, let's change these. I was thinking we'll change the other list, but no, we'll change this to defenders, army. Is that what I call that shit? I guess not. Defending. I was going to rename that. I just changed my mind. Defending army. Yeah, thanks. Defending army. Put this here. And then we are doing our attack. Let's go through this one at a time. We don't need this anymore at all, actually. Oh, we need the is willing to fight thing. All right, so this is the... Every hour we do that? Let's see. We create the army every hour. No, we're not going to do this. We're going to, not right here at least. We're going to go back to here. Let me paste this here. For each population data, if... We're going to rename this thing too, because I see that I have all sorts of things that make no sense. Hero population. Hero population if... So we add the dude. This needs to be up here. If the hero if the hero population is willing to fight, then we add them to this, but we're not gonna... Oh, we need to have these distinguished between Which does the hero know what battle it's in? We can get. Oh my God, this is more complicated. I was like, that was so easy. No. Okay, so we have the battle location. Where do we have? We can get it. We can get the defenders from the battle location. Maybe we do want two different ones. We pass in the hero, is willing to fight. We need to add it to the correct list, though, here. We could pass in the list. That's probably the laziest way to do it. It was suggesting that something there that's wrong. Yeah, we'll pass in the list. And it's just gonna be an army list. It's suggesting some strange shit today. So if they're willing to fight, we add them to the army list, and then we add each of their subordinates. No, subordinate. I cannot select that for some reason. Yeah, what is this crap? It started today. And then we'll add this to the army list. And then we're going to put in the subordinate. And we don't need to for each this, actually, because we can do this add range thing. Add, go this up here. Add range. Can't believe I learned that last weekend. It seems like that should be something I should have known by this point. And then this crap can go. This crap can go. All right. So we're going to pass in the list. If they're willing to fight, let's put this back to what we want. This is going to be comma battle dot attacking army. Lucky, how's it going? And this is going to be comma battle defending army. And so this break I think is wrong. I'm going to take that out and then we'll suffer for it later. Okay, so this should, we can turn this into something here. Yeah, we can do that. Perfect. Check to see, so we just took this out. Except, all right, so on army, or in battle start, on start battle, we don't actually want this in start battle. We want to do this every hour. Because it can change. So that's why this stuff was in the hour thing. So we're going to do this. This is gather all the defenders. This is going to gather all the attackers. We'll get rid of this thing. Except this is going to go in here. Go away. We're going to go like this. We're going to call this attacking hero. It's moving shit around. Yeah, so I don't. This is just moving people around for their tokens. This isn't it. That's all that this does, so that they show up on the screen right. And this one will cut, and this will every hour will regather. Um, and the only thing that could be a problem here is I don't know if we set um, the is willing to fight and for attacking because you're attacking they have to be willing to fight. So that was one of the things I remember talking about that last week. So now we have these two lists though that will be updated every uh, hour, but we need to also do one other thing. We need to clear the lists. And we'll have to have another list of fleeing people. This needs to go. And then we'll put this at the top. Army. No, this isn't going to work either. We need to clear the army list outside of this because, like, before we do the for loop. So we go battle, defending army, clear. Because otherwise we'll be clearing it too much. Battle, attacking army. No capital B. No capital B. Clear. And then we'll recreate this. Then we do our thing here. So for this, because I made the where's my bugs? I haven't clicked this yet today. Go make yourself big. Why is everything working differently today? Here we go. It's me. The problem's me. There we go. I like to see this. Usually not this big, but I like to be able to see what I'm up against. So this is going to be I don't know why I attacking army attackers. What did I call this? There we go. Attacker army. You're an aspiring dev. Do you use Godot? We attack some random person in this list. Okay. Why don't you like this dot? Because it doesn't need to be there, is why. This is going to be attacker's army without the dot. This is our cheating. We're going to get a random defender. Did I do, what did I call this thing? See, this one, defending, attacker? Why did I call it this? Defending, attacking. That makes more sense. Attacking, defending. Come on. Defending army, battle. More into app development. So Flutter, a JS person, there's so many JavaScript people. I posted on my Discord like the stats, and JavaScript is crazy. How many people use JavaScript. Crystal, I haven't been up to much. I actually took the day off on Thursday, I guess, and went to the archery range again. That was pretty fun. There was no people around, and then somebody showed up with their kid, and that just ruined my kids. Just ruined everything. I'm watching 28 years later, which so far is very bad. But it's just filled with kids. Like, why do they put kids in movies? They should get it. They just ruin everything. All right, what do we got here? All right, so it looks like I was in the middle of writing something. I think I just started writing this morning, actually. So we now have a list. Czech Army, cool. "28 Years Later." It's the new 28 Days Later sequel. 28 weeks later, then they're 28 years later. Um, the zombie thing. I hated the first one. I'm like one of the few people who hated the first movie. 28 uh, days later. 28. Yeah. So I heard that the new one was great, and I'm just baffled by the whole thing, by the choices. It has some interesting ideas, but it so far I'm just I don't know. Oh, my music stopped. You guys can't hear my music. Yeah, I heard on like uh, Reddit or something they were talking about 20 years later. It was great. I'm only halfway through. I'm only halfway through. I was watching it this morning and last night while I was eating dinner. Um, Still waiting, sorry, say hello. If not, hello. If I did, hello. You don't know where to start, Vass? I recommend starting small. Godot is really cool because you don't have to install anything. You can just download it, and it's relatively small, and you can just run it and go to town. And if you're familiar with JS, then probably C Sharp. C Sharp should be uh, somewhat easy to grasp and Godot has C Sharp and Godot's GD script. Godot script? GD script. I think we need to pass in an army here. We're going to pass in the army. And then for each population, data, population in army. Yeah, watching a film in trucks, I do that all the time. There's a new Star Wars movie. Oh, if you've already used C Sharp and Unity, then Godot should be relatively easy to switch over. So Unity has I'm now forgetting what they call them. I can't remember not scenes, prefabs and stuff. But anyways, there's nodes and whatever Godot uses, and once you like readjust your brain to the change. I didn't even know they were making a Star Wars movie. Wait, you're talking about that Ryan Gosling movie where he's like on a skateboard or something in space skateboard. Single wings, change your strings on like your guitar. That's as far as I got when I decided to start learning guitar again, to go back to teaching myself guitar. I just changed my strings and then I did. That's as far as I got. That's probably bad. We need to do a skill check. I'm gonna copy one from up here because it's kind of complicated. We're gonna copy one from right here. We just gotta make sure we check, we update to the correct stuff. Actually, I think I have this is a cool check. Put this in here. Copy this. Oh, I got a dot in here. Do this. Tacker's log. Oh, this is one of our things I was talking about. On 4, you have to change strings on 4 guitars? Some dedication there. So we're going to go through, we're going to pass in the army list. We're going to go through this list. Every single person, population, population. This is all of their stats. They're going, but we're going to need to add in the attacker's log. So we are going to need to know if it's there an attacker or defender. Hello, how's it going? It's a strategy game I'm working on. It's kind of inspired by Dominions and various Paradox games. Right now we're working on some combat. We're checking, like, I call it cool, but it's like when a person is under fire from, in combat, they're getting shot at usually. Other things would check cool too, but this is the main use for it. It's like a skill that the more you get shot at, the more desensitized to it you get. We can pass in a bool, but that sounds dumb. But maybe that's what we'll do. Like we'll do is attacker, and then we put this on the attacker versus the defender's log. Wait. Mine's open source and free, and I agree with you there, man. I bought, God, what was it? Hearts of Iron DLC recently. I don't remember which one. Because I don't own all of them, and then I feel like I'll be playing any Paradox game, and I don't own all the DLC for all of them, and I'll be like, how does this mechanic work? And I'll Google it, and I'll be like, oh, to use this mechanic, you gotta have this DLC, and I'll be like, fuck. And then I'll go look at the price, and it will be like $20. I'll be like, fuck, I want to use this mechanic. And so then I buy it, and with CK3 and Victoria 3, I've bought all the DLC, but I definitely feel ripped off. Victoria 3 especially. I put 400 hours into Victoria 3, and I think 200 were waiting for it to load. The other 200 were me just being unhappy. So we actually... did we call it attacker's log? Because we've changed how this works. Because we've changed, it's all one line now. Before we had attackers and defender logs, and then I wonder, what are we doing with this attacker's log? It's just like a string, but where are we using this string? Let's look for attacker's log here. And I did it with Stellaris too recently. I hadn't played Stellaris in years, and I was like, I'm gonna give Stellaris a shot again. And I didn't have any of the DLC. Same exact thing happened. I was like, I want to play a robot. And then there's 2 robot DLCs. You do backend stuff on .NET for like web things. Oh, look how I did it. So I put the log. Oh man. So because I was being, that worked. I remember this now, and it actually worked fine. But maybe we can cheat here then. We can. What did I do at the top over here? So I just have a string. We're gonna be like filling up the logs. It's gonna be. I'm 100% gonna have to do like Paradox does, where you can turn off logs, because the logs currently, like when you run it, it's just tons of garbage flying up the screen. Kind of like Distant Worlds 2 does it too. So let's put a string. Let's not call it attacker's log. Let's put in here. I live in Oregon, U.S. Oregon. Where are you from? Mobile apps, huh? Do you like .NET? I know there was somebody else here in chat who does JavaScript, and I was looking. .NET's up there, but it's not like JavaScript. JavaScript is crazy usage amount. We'll put this into we'll call it combat logs. Combat log equals. We're gonna make it nothing because we might put nothing. This doesn't go here either now, actually. Let's cut this. It's gonna go in here. Oh, I didn't get the whole thing. It's gonna go down here somewhere. Let's see, at the end of this, where I copied this, we also need perk of 0, because we need to add the perks still. So checking this, actually we got one too many is what we got here. This line doesn't need to be here. We need squigs. Turkey, huh? I was speaking of Turkey, I was just playing the Ottoman Empire the other day in Victoria 3. And I was thinking, because my friend just went to Greece, and I was like, I wonder if there's a lot of like Ottoman Empire ruins left over in that general area. There must be like tons of like history, like everywhere you go. Nice to meet you as well. Yeah, he was saying he sent me like a ton of cat pictures from Greece, and I was like, I bet you in Turkey too, because I was playing, like I said, the Ottoman Empire. I was like, I bet you there's a ton of cats there as well. Cats everywhere you go. So what are we doing? This is if we don't pass this skill. If we do pass it, everything's fine. If we don't pass it, we need to adjust their morale. Did I already have that in here? On this check? This is the wrong check. This is we want... This is confusing. Yes, it is. Right? Exactly. It hasn't been gone for that long. It feels like it was a, antiquity as they call it, but in reality it wasn't that long ago. I would love to visit. I don't even have a passport though. I need to get one. But yeah, I would love to go to Turkey and that whole area. Actually, everywhere pretty much. Yeah, Victoria 3 takes place in, it starts in 1836, so it's literally not that long ago, yeah. Is it? Turkey says a good place. Mountain Blade, that video game I know is made in Turkey. I'm just going to talk about video games here. The original one was quite good. So this is their... Where was I getting this cool check? Where did I copy that from? Because I would like to be lazy and copy it again, the rest of it. Why don't we search for cool? Check defenders cool. Oh, this one it just has... I'm so kind of weirded out that I made this make sure it's not a 0 here. Wonder why I did it here instead of like have a getter setter that does that. Um, Khalid, you've been, how's it going? And you've been there 5 times, huh? Oh, cost effective. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I could like probably afford to travel, but I also don't want to like I'm too old for like um, uh, staying at like youth hostels and stuff. I'm not a youth. Um, and so it's like I gotta have some money, you know. But then I also don't want to be like a tourist. You know what I mean? Like there's a negative connotation to being a tourist, wandering around and looking at like an asshole. Um, went to Japan in 2019 and then earlier this year. Earlier this year, after the drop in price, yeah, Japan I'd like to go to. Oh, there's no job opportunities that I know about. Um, everyone's complaining about that stuff. There's especially in tech. Crystal, didn't you like just get a job? Go through that whole process of job hunting. Was it brutal for you or was it easy? You have like a very high demand experience, though, I think. Resume, high demand resume. All right, I'm going to copy this part. I still, like I said, I don't know why I'm doing that. Um, all right, so we're going to do this random. Oh, yeah, the max morale damage. So this is after they get shot. Wait. This is after they get shot. We check the whole army. So this is only if someone's getting actually shot again. The whole army is getting checked. Um, copying this wasn't the best idea, honestly. This is kind of uh, ugly. I'm gonna have to change all of these. So this is just gonna be skill level. This is gonna be a tribute. The other one needed all the like to be specifically explained what's going on here because there was two things happening, and this does not. So this is gonna be a tribute level. It looks like. So we get our bonuses, and then this is skill level, and then this is our bonuses. And then we could put this back over here. We don't have perks. Additional bonuses, though. Didn't we put in an additional bonus? Yeah, it is. It is the tech thing. The tech jobs are messed up right now. I think we're in a bubble. I think things are going to readjust kind of dramatically. So the additional bonus, I thought we added something to the game. Yes, last week. That was an additional bonus. Because I remember, yeah, like this one has um, an additional bonus. Oh, because they had equipment. Cool, there is no cool equipment bonus. So there is no additional bonus, and then perks would be different, but we haven't put any perks. So this is fine for that. We're going to do a random, and then we're going to go population, morale expendable. Once again, I do not know why we're doing this way, but we'll do it. And then this will be here. The combat log. Then we'll go We got to get the faction name. We got to put this. We're going to put this. We're going to pull up our translations. Yeah, the ripple effect too of how, like, if something happens in one country, how it ripples out to the whole world is kind of crazy, especially in tech. Let's see, we got to go to 2D4X here, and how do you like being a remote worker? I work at home as well, 99% of the time. Is Excel gonna open here? Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Fuck is this? There's what is this? It thinks it's a PowerPoint file. We were working on some phrases at the last time. I'm gonna take a break here in a second, like 5 seconds. No, I'm an IT manager. Basically a glorified help desk. I don't manage any people, so let's say phrase is scared. Something flashed up. No, scared. Is scared. I'm going to translate this into Spanish. And then I'm going to take a quick break here. And then we will put this. I double click that like I was in Writer. It does not work. It does not work. Okay. Population full name. So do we want to put the morale damage here? You know, I totally wish I could. I'm not even joking. I wish that I could hire more people. I can't even get it myself an assistant. That's dibs, right? Yeah. No, we've talked about. I totally, especially so I have an assistant. I'm putting that in quotes because they work for, like, they have 3 bosses. It's total bullshit. The poor person. I'm one of the bosses, and I'm the lowest. Like, my opinion is the least important. And they have to be in the office the whole time. And yeah. Interestingly enough, one of the owners was like, Intel uses people outsourced IT help. Maybe we should do that. And I was like, no. I was like, in my head, I was like, didn't Intel just get bought by the government or something? It's not a very successful company anymore. We're gonna copy this line once again because I'm being lazy, and then I'm gonna go on a break real quick. Check army, cool. We need this to be up here, and this is just gonna say faction data. We need a faction data to get this information down at the bottom. Whoops, this needs to be in here. And this needs to be population. And then this needs to be faction data. We have to put the faction data in there. Otherwise it gets the faction name and the combat log. Otherwise it gets way too confusing. And when you're looking at the logs fly by, you're like, who is this person? All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw my break timer up and stop my music that you guys can't hear. And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I gotta skip this song and put in my break timer. Let's see here. So yeah, we gotta do that faction name. We did that, the perk thing. I put this to do here so I can search for to dos and then fix perks because I use this kind of a lot. I guess I could search perk as well. So then we need to add this. How did we do it up here? I don't know what's going on there. We're doing learning skills checks. Oh shit. Did we not do that on this other? Cool. Should they get a... We need to put a population in here, I think. Should they get a school or cool check? So this is going to be here. And we're going to do combat log. And I think this is definitely, they should get a skill check for their the reason I'm staring at this is because how does this know what skill it's checking? Oh. What does this do? Oh, we're checking their activity. This is strange. This is another thing that I like. Whoops, I forgot to turn on my break timer. This is another thing that I'm like wonder what the logic behind this, because I can just pass in this skill. Wow. I think what I was trying to do was have it so that I could just throw in the population and not worry about it, but it seems... Do we even know what activity they have at this point? Are they in combat? I don't remember setting them to combat anywhere. I must have. Look at this if statement that's like check they're cool. Okay, so this is this is dumb. I don't like this anymore. Why don't I just pass in this population and this skill? Because I have an enum that we could. Maybe I didn't have an enum. No, I had to have had an enum back then. Oh, I see other weird shit that happens. Okay, so we have to pass in. Well, same thing. If we just pass in the skill, we can do away with this whole switch. What do we, yeah, we could just have the skill data be right here instead of, it's going to break everything, but I mean, this is crazy, man. And also, I don't think it's going to work with this skill check because, I mean, I guess it could. We would just say defending in combat true. Let's see. We're going to have to put a thing in here, and we're going to have to test this like immediately because we've kind of got a lot of shit going on that we just changed. What is this last problem here? Oh, you need a thing. What was it? Check army. Cool. We need the army list. So we are going to. This is. We want the defending army to go in here. No, you don't want the army list. You want an array. Oh, I see the problem. We have a... No? Godot array of population data, army. All right, man. Thank you for dropping by. Have a good night yourself. I think this is in the wrong spot. I'm going to put a GD print here, though. Real quick. Someone has died. I just want to see if people are croaking. What is this thing's problem, though? Didn't I put in? Oh, I see. I see the problem. There we go. All right, let's test this shit because it's going to be kind of complicated here. And I think there's something wrong and I don't know what it is yet. All right. So to test this, we need to hire some subordinates for this guy. 3 sounds fine. Let's speed this up. 1 person has been recruited. 2nd person has been recruited. We need to wait until they're actually a 3rd person in service. So let's let some time go by here. 1, 2, 3. They're all in service. We need to declare war on faction 2. And then we need to spawn this dude. Oh, he spawned and time is flying by. Did I spawn him or did he automatically spawn? I think that dude automatically spawned. Oh, right, we changed it so they have to be spawned for if you're doing subordinates. I think his panel was wrong too, though. I wasn't paying attention. All right, so we're in combat here. We're getting a bunch of bugs. So let's see what the problem is. I bet here we are the wrong list is in the wrong spot. So this is gonna be, go back over here. This is when we're attacking the defender is attacking the random person, and it says that the index is at a range, and the attacking army. So we've cleared this here. Visiting army. Heroes. I bet you, because I remember saying this last weekend, like, oh, it doesn't matter. We don't need to set the attacking army is willing to fight. So I would bet these guys are not willing to fight. And so they're all being set to, what is this red dot? It usually isn't there. Oh, we could have done this differently, but just 2 is fine. Speed up some time. Oh, this is an old breakpoint. Let's speed this up to 16. Let's have some time flying. I also think it unpaused itself at some point. So I definitely am not hitting spacebar. We got service. Recruited. We got to wait for 1 more. Now I have hit spacebar. You know what it is? I think it was time was going, and I clicked on this. We got both, and then time should continue. So they're both in service. Now we gotta, whoops, I didn't declare war. We gotta declare war. And then we gotta cruise over there. Okay, so here is the is willing to fight. Is true. Wonder which one we're checking. So this should be, so it does this token thing. And then in the hourly, the defending hero. Okay, so the defending hero, that we know, I remember setting that one. So that one, false. What is this hero's name? I guess we can't look at it right now because we're in the pause of the thing. I'm betting we need to set that. How are we doing that? Susan here. I don't remember where we were setting this. Let's stop this. Before. Because I definitely remember repeatedly saying, oh, we don't need to check that because they're attacking. Right here is where we're setting the defenders. This is in diplomacy. Okay, so this is a response to the declaration of war. This spawns defenders. What we need to do is when the attacker arrives, they've reached their destination. We need to make sure that they're willing to fight. So we actually, there's it's called token movement. I remember that. Reached destination. Top of reached destination county population. What does that even mean? Hero reached a friendly. Heroes attacking. We create a new battle. Or we capture. Okay, so in this new battle, we need to set the whole army as willing to fight. Yeah, I think this is going to be an issue as well later, sort of. And also, so we created those armies at the hour thing, but it would be better if we had the army list here because we got to do the same thing. We got to go through and if set to all those people. We add in a battle. And then we go to start battle. Can we wait? Battle control. We don't know if they're on the attacking side. All right, I was thinking maybe we could just trick it and have like just throw the bool here before, but we don't actually know if we could painfully get that information. It would be a huge pain in the ass though. So let's go back to reach destination. Wherever the fuck that is. Where's our token movement? Hero attacking county. We set up the battle. Do we heroes in... These are the defenders. This is the defenders doing that. Hero army visiting enemy county. We reparent this shit and we add them to this list. This is just the hero, but we could go for each. we would go. What is going on here? This is some dumb. This is yeah. I don't like what I'm about to do here, but we're gonna do it anyways. I'll complain about it later when I see it. I'll be like, why is this here? Why did I do this? For each. True. All right. Let's run this the other way. So when they reach, it will reset their willing to fight. We could actually use that for when someone runs away. And then we would put a check where if there's no one willing to fight in the army, they retreat. We totally could do that. That wouldn't... I just gotta remember. Whoops. Let's recruit 2 people. Put on 16 speed. We got both of those people. It's definitely hard to read that shit. I tried to unpause it while I was in here. It shouldn't work. I only see one service. It did not work. Okay, we have 2 people in service. We definitely need to have like an icon or something because it's every time I look at this, it's scavenging service. It's hard to differentiate there. We need to declare war. We need to move this guy over here. Oh, that was a lot of quick bugs there. This one, we got some other... Didn't we fix this last time? This equipment issue? Oh, you know what? I might not have tested it with nothing in there. I bet you I probably clicked the button where they get inventory for offensive equipment. I probably totally did that. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. So and there's a Godot pet peeve I have. When you turn this little thing, it takes you yeah, so this is null. So what is happening here? So yeah, that's what happened when I tested it last time. I was checking the box. We wrote this last weekend, this equipment thing. So what we need to do is tell ChatGPT to write something for us, because once again, being lazy. We need to check if this is null, and if it is, it should return 0. See, look at this gibberish. I'm never going to get used to this gibberish. I know all you pros are, but it's, let's paste this in here. Let's run this. Let's actually put a note here, because like I said, this looks like gibberish to me. If there is no equipment, then the bonus is 0. Get this shit out of here. Did we ever re-import that thing? I don't think we did. All right, here we go. 3rd time's a charm, right? That's what they say. I should have, you know what I should have done is saved it. Let's try this, actually. This is a good test. Whoops. Let's recruit 2 people. Let's let them wait until they get into service. Then we'll save it, and then we can click load. See, like recruited is hard to read too because it's the same length. Your eye doesn't get, drawn. One person's in service. Like, see, here's what I was talking about, where things just flash, just fill up the screen. You can scroll, but we got both people in service. Let's save this and see what happens. We didn't get any bugs. Let's declare war. Now, if I remember to load each time, we don't have to wait for that. And if it works. But it is a good test. All right, we've loaded. We've declared war. 3rd time's a charm, like I said. All right, we're not getting any errors. It's showing that people are getting skill checks when they shouldn't. I wonder why. Let's look at our logs over here, though. Raising armies. Okay, let's look at logs down here. What we're looking for is... Well, nobody's hitting. We need them to successfully shoot somebody. Nobody's hitting and dying either. Isn't scared. Didn't I just... Is scared. We had an isn't scared, but is scared. So nobody's been hit? Twice? It shouldn't be that hard. Let's double check that there's something else that's going wrong here. I mean, we could just have bad rolls. So this is first skill check for 2 hit. If this passes, then the attacker shot has been close to the target. Target must roll their cool. The second skill check for the attacker to see if the attacker actually hits. So we have our first one. This is... This is their skill, their cool check. Let's put a little note right here. Cool check. Then we go down to second skill check to see if they damage the person. So this is this shooter's skill level, shooter's attribute, shooter. So if this passes, it's not we don't have an exclamation point there. We take the damage, but someone has died is the only time we're checking anything here. So let's put this, let's put a GD print in here. Actually, copying that one was not useful. Let's do with a $sign here. Let's do some squigs and shit. Actually, we need to put this in a combat log anyways. So let's do the combat log. We need a string. Do we have some other? We do have this like defenders log. Where's this shit getting put in? We could put an additional log in. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So this is gonna be... We don't have a log for damage, so we wouldn't have known if they were getting hit anyways. We're gonna need a string damage log. So this is gonna be the second hit, generated combat damage. We'll do damage log equals $ equals squigs. We need the faction. I think we already have this though. No. I thought we had a faction up here. There's a lot of data. Shooter shooting. There's a lot of data, confusing data here. Here we're getting shot at faction data. Oh, I typed in population. No, okay. Get faction name. No, I guess we can just put faction name. Oh my god. Faction name. What we're doing? Colon space. Yep. Then we're gonna do squigs. And we're gonna do getting. We're gonna do get name though. Full name. Because we have, so there currently is only like, in game, there's only like 70 or 80 people, but when we have more, there's going to be a ton of people, and so we're never going to have enough names, basically. So we want the full name, because otherwise you might see 2 Shelleys or something. I guess we could have enough if we added like 10,000 names or whatever. We could take them off the list, but then we need. I have a feeling that we may have is hit or something in these phrases. Has hit. Oh, we sorted the thing. Man, we have 300 lines? 370 lines? Phrase has taken Bill is damaged for, and then we put the we could do was. Do we want to do, are we doing past tense or present tense? What the fuck are we doing here? Has hit. Is hit. Okay. Is damaged for. Is what? Is damaged for. Don't like that either. Is damaged for. We're gonna do a TR. Wait, this has to be inside of squigs. This has to be here. And then we go. Phrase is damaged for. We need another quote here. Another squig. We got a squig out of control over here. I bet you I have the word hit points already done. Though hit points is 2 words, I think. You know, it's under probably attributes, hit points. I don't have the word hit points in this whole thing. Is hit points 2 words? I feel like it's 2 words. I guess it's 1 word. I guess it's 2 words. 2 words or 1? Stupid fucking AI. 2 words. This is the original formal version. I didn't know we were using formal versions in D&D. We'll use 1 word because I don't want to have a phrase that's hit points. Word, hit points. Hit points. Wonder if it should be a capital. Fuck it, who cares, right? Wow, that's not a word. See, this is the problem. Oh, it's also a capital. This is the problem with translations. It's all going to be all fucked up. And then this is Spain Spanish versus Latin American Spanish. So it's like 9 people speak Spain Spanish versus Latin American Spanish. Okay. Is shooting at, where was it? Where were we? Is damaged 4. Let's put this a new line. We can copy this gibberish. Word points. Yeah, it's saying it's misspelled. What do you think it is? You want a space, huh? How about I save you to the dictionary? All right, so we have a new damage log, and then let's actually add this other log here. And we need to add death. We need to add death, but we're gonna put a line death line. We'll do string death log, and we're gonna have it. Actually, we can just do this. I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to, but it's bad. I know you guys can't hear it. I always have to say that. We need to have we need this faction stuff. We're gonna put these together, so we don't need the faction or their name. We could put. We'll just put their. We'll put their name in here anyways. It's gonna be the same. What we could do. We'll see how this works. I think it's /in. Then we need. What's going on here? Then we're gonna need this, and we're gonna put. We might already have this. Is dead. Nothing. Dead. What about even people starved to death? I thought I already had something for death. I mean, I just searched for dead, so I guess I don't. Phrase. Is dead. Is dead. See, if I put an exclamation, yeah, no, but then it's going to put that, when I translate it, we'll put the exclamation in the front. See, languages are hard, guys. Is dead. Let's put a period at the end. I don't think that changes anything. I don't think there's languages that put the period at the front too. Okay, so then we need phrase. I guess I could have left. Is death? Is dead. You were close there. Then we'll go like this. Down here, we call this final. I'm going to rename this to final battle log. And then we'll go right here. And we'll do string final damage log. And we'll go $. Suddenly I couldn't find the $sign on my what I call this fucking thing? Damage log. Oh, can you not get to this because this is in here? Fine. We need this for each person. Wait. Is that gonna work? Put in the combat log. Yeah, we're still inside this, so we'll be fine. Where are my logs? There they are. Yes, this would have been an easier. We got damage log, just to copy and paste that. There was one more. Death log or whatever. Where are you? Oh, that's damage log. Where's my death log? Death log, you're going to be here. And then we're going to do death log. Now I remember why I put this here, but I wonder why I don't have one there. Like, that was never a problem. Then down here, we're going to go plus. We don't need a plus. We just need death log. So this will put a new line in if there's death. And then final damage log, we're going to put in, I guess we should, that didn't work. Then we're going to do this. We're going to put final damage log in here. This shit is getting complicated. This whole game, this is not going to be a easy experience to finish this game. It's going to take 5 years at least. I have been thinking about possibly hiring someone, actually. We're going to try this load thing and see what happens. We got 5 errors. Interesting. Oh, we can't have them spawned yet. We got to fix that. Okay. I forgot about that. That we don't have the recreation of spawning. That's next after this. We got kind of sidetracked doing this combat thing. But we'll get back to the other thing soon enough here. Why do I keep going this way? 2. This person should be spawned, yeah. Let this run for a minute. We recruited him. The other day we were doing this and the hero was so bad at recruiting, it was taking fucking eternity. It took like weeks. Alright, so we have service. We're going to declare war on the other faction. We are going to now attack them. I was waiting for a pop-up because there used to be a pop-up. That's funny. Alright. We have attacked. We're not getting any bugs. What does this say over? Oh, actually, it's going to be the combat log. It's going to be in the combat log. It's going to be in the combat log. We needed to re-import our thing. But we can still read it. All right, so let's look at this. At 2,200, oh, we have some blank ones. Because they didn't. Okay, so let's fix that. So what happened was we need this to not be like that. And then what we need to do is, because they never hit, they didn't get a sign. So what we need to do here is we've got to go if, wait. This one we need to have blank. What the fuck? Where am I going? Get out of here. Where am I going here? I scrolled way too far. Final search. Death. I want the other death log go up. Oh my god. This one needs to equal this. That's why this is set like this up here. Okay, so we go down to here and we say if damage log is not equal to null. What's your problem? Oh, there's you. Okay, we can't do it that way. We gotta go like this, and then we go down to here. Then get the fuck out of here. Then we put in these ones. I think. Then we gotta run this again. Yeah, we gotta fix that loading in the tokens. I was being lazy. I didn't want to do it. I just didn't feel like it. Like I always say, that's the good thing about being the boss, is you can just not do stuff that you don't feel like doing. Yeah, we also need to show if they're in service there. Service, they're both in service. Let's pause it. Let's declare war. Faction 2. Move this over. Move you down. We got our attack. Let's open this up. So Cheryl Scott is damaged for 2 hit points. Oh, here's a blank one. I wonder what's supposed to be here. Hard to tell when it's blank. It's damaged. Cheryl Scott's damaged for 5. Here's another blank one. So it's going up. Like these are put on top. So Christina Lewis missed, and then it's getting a blank one. So let's see here. So if Christina Lewis missed, so that's going to be this one. We're following this line down here. And then we have final battle log. This puts in the attacker's log. We initialize this every time, so it shouldn't be. Is there a possibility of this being? Now we got the attacker's log here and when the missed, and we saw that. So what would happen after this? Is there a possibility that this damage log is set to nothing? Or not set to nothing after this, I mean. It's gonna look here. Died? No died, people. Let's see what we got here. You know, I think you can put in breakpoints. You can put in. Oh, we have this army cool thing. Uh-oh. Here is that. Here's our army cool. Here it is. So it checked through everybody, but only one person took. So it's putting that in here. So we need to go the same thing. We need to go if. Okay, that's not what I wanted. God damn it. It's just easier. If combat log, then we put this in here. All right, that checks everybody. We're gonna have to go through this again because I can already see we have to have a in here. I'm gonna put a to do updates, average morale. This actually should probably be at the bottom. And then have the repercussions to do have the possibility of running away somewhere, not necessarily there. This probably actually should be down here though. Yeah, this is this is surprisingly sorry, excuse me. This is expectedly complicated. I was saying surprisingly, but it's actually combat's gonna be fucking complicated. Let's do 2. And we're gonna need to break these into parts. So I do this occasionally where I'll not break it into parts now, then I'll come back later and I'll basically refactor all of the code when I have a fresh pair of eyes to look at what's going on. Because sometimes I'm like too into looking at it. Okay, so they are in service. We are gonna attack or declare war. Now we're gonna attack. Whoops. We won too quickly. We'll attack this next thing. I guess this will be our. We gotta attack here again. This is gonna be a test for this. I don't think this is gonna work though. Maybe. Okay. Rose King missed. All right, so Carlos Moore is shooting at Fred Williams. They failed their cool. They lost 9 morale. Then they were damaged for 4 hit points. So we want also death to be very rare in this. Okay, so we got some people are scared. Okay, so they missed, they missed, they missed. Why is it checking though if this person's scared after all those misses? That shouldn't be being checked there, I don't think. Kenneth Evans was damaged for 7 hit points. Then it checked the army. I think this might be this they were damaged, and then it does the rest of the people attacking. Then it does the check for if they're scared. The army check. We might have to move that. So Fred Williams gets scared a lot. He must have a low cool. Kenneth Evans is damaged for 7. I'm just checking to see if he got damaged for more than 10. So wait, there's 7. Because he should be dead. It's dead, right? Died. Is dead. This should have put it in here. If it equals is less than or equals to 0. This is that weird thing where we were making their hit points. Oh no, we aren't. Oh yeah, they can definitely be. You know what? Someone did a YouTube comment ages ago and said, "Don't do equals 0. Do less than or equals 0." And it was for this exact reason. They were right. The scroll wheel doesn't work on this right now, so, but we will fix it. I kind of wish you could expand this, honestly. So yeah, Kenneth got hit for 7. Then he was hit for 7 again. So he should be dead. He should be dead. Fred. I don't see the other team getting hit at all. That could just be. Kenneth did shoot, and they lost 1. Carlos lost 1, but that could just be that we got rolls the way they are. I'm going to take a quick break, though. I think we're on to something. We're getting here. We have damage now, and I think that was the problem with that. I thought we had hit points set to never be below 0, though. We don't. I wonder if we should change this into... It doesn't matter right now, I guess. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw out my break time. Wait, I turned off my chat background? They're in a different order now. I guess I could just reorder them. My break timer... Oh, I cannot reorder them? There we go. Because I switched computers. All right. I'm going to throw my break timer, and we will... I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Right. I am back this time. I will not forget to turn off my break timer. And why is Twitch always telling me things? Why is it always saying things are happening? All right, what were we doing? Should have probably thought about what I was doing while I was outside. Oh yeah, death. Death. My coworkers told me that I'm a little dark, that I talk about death too much. She'll be like, "Why are you showing me this?" And I'm like, "Just in case I croak, because if I die, the IT operations end at my work. You have to have a backup person for everything, basically. Backup for your data and backup for your people." All right, what were we doing? We needed death. Yes, death. Death is where we were at. Battle control. I think all this shit's gonna be moved, honestly. We didn't have any spaces that time. So what was happening with this death? No, oh, we had that. All right, we got to test it again. Is what's happening. Let's run it again. I should have just let it run while I was outside smoking, because that would have been a good test too. See what things happen, what bad things happen after a certain amount of time. I've done that before, and we haven't had bugs happen yet. Everyone would be starving to death. Hopefully they die. I mean, whoops. Service. Because, well, everyone should be scavenging. Yeah, so maybe they wouldn't starve to death. They'd run out of stuff eventually if we let it run long enough. Declare war. I was curious. I was like, did I ever put anything in there? No, I have not put anything in there. And then I put a title. Not even a title. We declared war. We're on the... Wait. No, that's right. Good God, man. 16's too fast. All right. Someone should... Oh, well, the combat didn't last very long. We got people who were scared, lost 15, lost 18. We need some dead people. Scared, missed, hit points. Is damage for 10. So this person's dead. Margaret Peterson should be dead at this point. So let's do a check here. We can save the game and it won't throw any errors. And then we can look at the data. Margaret Peterson, why aren't you dead? Margaret. See, there's a Margaret Lopez. Reed Peterson. Why aren't you dead? You have negative 15 hit points. You should be very well dead. So what have I done wrong? Let's go through this here. We check the defenders. Then we get a cool check. This is all if they're scared or not. Second check to see if they are damaged. Damage received. We subtract that from their hit points. We put this, they were damaged. We check everyone that is shot at. We should put this below this, though. Getting shot at population. If there is equal to... Oh, so it did put it here. Why didn't it print it in the logs? Did it put it in the logs and I just didn't see it? This does remember. Now, oh wait, that thing happened between... is scared. It would have been at, it should be damage for 10 hit points is dead. So what is wrong with this? Getting shot at population hit points is less than or equal to 0. Death log. Second cool check. Actually, this is gonna go in. No, if anyone takes damage, should we do it? Yeah, we'll just do it if they're. I mean, I think the idea originally was to have this also in here. So like if a person's killed, it's even more. They got to do another cool check. Let's do that. Let's make it so that like the cool check is really cool check for everyone on the person getting shot at's team. Yeah, we'll leave that. Someone has died. So it is hitting this, but then why is it not putting the log? Oh, is it because it's 2 lines and we can't see the second line? Okay, so let's get rid of this new line. Let's go back to here. Let's put a space there. Let's put a period. Here. Let's put a period here. I thought there was periods in, but we shouldn't probably put the punctuation in there. All right, let's do this again. One more time here. Start. Recruit. Close. 16 speed. These buttons are kind of a little small, honestly. All right, that's probably enough time. We got service. We got declare war. Move. All right, that time I got the space in. We don't know if it, well, we can check right here. So someone's dead. Someone has died. So we need to find that someone in this list. Tammy Haywire. Must be my wife. Oh, we have 2 periods here. Was damaged for Nancy Thomas is dead. Okay, so that works, but let's fix this this thing. We shouldn't put the punctuation in here. That's dumb. Because what if we need this is dead in the middle of a sentence or something? Okay, save. We don't need to test that again, though. Okay, so they're dead. Now we got to have the repercussions of death. We need to remove them from the world. They're dead. Dead people. I think I have. I wonder where it is. Not in population generation. We can close that. I think I have a thing somewhere for dead people. It's not here. Maybe in globals, there is a dead thing in dead factions. All right, let's go for. Whoops. So here's a dead people list in the county. Oh, are we putting them in a list of their counties? Convert faction. I guess we did have a list. Okay, so we have a dead people list in their county. So we should add them to this list. I don't remember what we do with this list. What do we do with this list? We add somebody here. Oh, that's just the DTO, though. You know, I was thinking of a major um, reason to use public. There's a lot of reasons to use public classes instead of Godot resources, but I thought of one that for me has been an annoying thing. It doesn't look like we do anything with this dead people's list yet. But the thing I was thinking about that I find extremely annoying is if you go, we can do it over here. If you have a resource, this is gonna seem minor, but it actually kind of adds up over time. Let's re-import this while I'm here. So if you have a resource, let's say a good here, and you have a description, I mean, I guess it just says that good description equipment here, but if you wanted to put in a full description with like a paragraph, you don't have enough space. You can't type in here. But in a public class, you could have the full thing in there. I guess it doesn't matter that much because we're just using that. But anyways, what we're doing here. So if we are having a dead people list that it doesn't seem like we're doing anything with currently, let's double check that. For each. Like, what are we at? This is for starvation. Kill people who need to die. People who need to die soon. Oh, so we have to remove heroes from all heroes lists. We have to. Now, where does this get run? This is probably in the morning or something. The fuck is this? Population eats food. So killing people who need to die. See, there is kind of like a. Yeah, if it's a hero, it's. All right, so this is going to be somewhat complicated. Let's check our GitHub here. Add damage comments, so there'll be two different types of hits. One will be a hit, but just a morale damage, other will be a hit point damage. We've done that. What is our next on our list? We did this. Stop recruiting when in combat. Oh yeah, I think I deleted this. I took this out. Now I want to put it back. They group up. So we did that. We need to test it. I mean, we just saw it working. I was going to say we need to test it again. Okay, so we're actually knocking this shit out. We're almost done with this. But what we need to add in here is death. Combat death. Because it's going to be somewhat complicated. This time when I said somewhat complicated, I actually meant it. We're going to have a couple of things happen. We're going to have to rewrite some other stuff to use this kill people who need to die. We're going to need to... I was just thinking, I keep talking about killing people, and I wonder how YouTube and Twitch's AI algorithms handle it. You know, they're like, what is he? You know, is he talking about? What is it in real life? It's a video game, man. Second cool check. We can get rid of that. Cool check for everyone on the persons who's getting shot at's team when someone dies. And then if you get damaged, and when someone is hurt. And okay, someone has died. We're gonna need. Honestly, I think there's so much stuff that's in the battle control that I think is gonna need to be moved. We're gonna have to have it, so we're not gonna be able to test this until we have the AI actually go to war, and the AI is not very good at going to war, or is not very, it's not very good at going to war because there's no code for that at all. Is not very built up, but we're gonna hit that somewhat soon. When I say that, it's probably gonna be a year. So someone has died. Let's. So I think this should probably be in population data. We put it in the population data. Yeah, it should be. So we'll have we'll make a method. Yeah, because this also, so this is all like stuff that happens to population. We'll just stick it right up at the top here. Public void. We're going to be using variables, I think, above. So death. And we'll do, we're going to make a list of what we need to do here because there's a kind of a few things. Remove remove population from, we have that. Where was that thing we were just looking at? We'll copy this shit over, and then we're going to use that death thing. It was people starving to death. How did I get there? I think it was here. We're going to make this. We're going to make this a method in population.data, and we'll just run it. And then we can run it again. That way we don't have to have multiple things going on. I don't know what this color. Oh, it was a GD. We'll leave that in there, actually. Okay, so let's go through this. Remove hero from. We can just use the faction ID directly from here. We can remove this from this. We can remove this from this. We can remove this from this. We can remove this. Population data list. That's not a very descriptive thing. Where the fuck was that thing I was just looking at? This is under county data. Okay, so this is county data, county data, county data. So we can get that with this here. I think it's in the save manager. Is it? It might be in the auto load. Get convert faction ID. We need a convert. That is, I think it's in the auto load, honestly. Jesus Christ, another song that's dog shit. Luckily, you guys can't hear that terrible song. Convert, we get the county. Count goods. No, it isn't here. I think maybe we don't have a method for that. It would be convert now. Convert. Well, if I gotta type it in now, right? We don't have one. So let's write one. Not there though. We'll put it in the save game thing. Where did that go? In the save manager. Because the save manager should have a list, or I mean, I guess it's in the save game data of all the county data lists. Isn't this a parallel list? Fuck, I can't remember. Public faction, nope. County data. I swear we were pulling from a different list. We were pulling from this down here. I remember doing this the other day. We can't have two because if we got to use only one, otherwise we're gonna fuck ourselves badly. Get county data from location. Yeah, it's right here. I wonder if these references are good. This is actually what I was thinking of. We got to have one or the other, though. It can't be both. I mean, they could be referenced together, but I have a feeling that we're going to have problems if we do that, if we have the thing. So there's 10 using that. I wish it told you how many we're using it right here. $36 errors. Oh, 36 errors must be something else. Well, there's one we just wrote. This is when we're converting all the data. This is when we're converting it. Okay, so this is going to be a major thing we got to double check because I don't know. I don't remember how these things are assigned. Like I said, we got to do one or the other. Let's uncomment this out. I just wanted to see how much chaos. How much time do I got? 30 minutes? Maybe I'll call a little bit early today. We got to put in a note about this, though. Let's double check this stuff. So we got to figure out it's when it assigns it, and I think it's right here. No, it's right here. Check map already generated. So we load all this stuff. What does this do? If the directory is not equal to null, all county data lists we're assigning the county to that. We're assigning the county to that. And we're assigning the county ID. And then we do a print there. Wonder why this is grayed out. Oh, because we don't have anything in there. Why did I comment that out? That's probably pretty important to have if we're gonna have issues. So we load these from disk, all of these things, but we don't apply their county data to how the fuck could we test this? So basically what we need to do is we need to make sure that these county data is the county data for each county is referenced to the scene that we're instantiating here. Because if it's not, then we have two different county datas. And we need to get rid of one. Do I not have this on the list? This seems pretty major to not have a note about. I don't know what I would have called it though. Let's do county data. What was that? That flew by. No. County. Yeah, this is going to bring up a million things. County goods yesterday's numbers aren't showing correctly. What? Factions are no. We want to keep track of resource uses per day. This seems like a crazy amount of data to save. Make county map smaller. Okay. All right, let's do this. Where's it getting this information from, though? Where's our save? Did I close it? Close some things here we don't need. I guess I closed the save game. Couldn't remember where this thing was for a second. So this is saving, I feel like we already did this. Yeah, the all county data list. Look at how these are all empty. So these would have stuff in them. At this save point, they wouldn't. At this save point, they would. Yeah, so, and here they are. There's people in this list. We must be connecting this at some point. Like, how do we generate that one list? We do it in county generation, but then it, like, when it loads the game, I probably already did this. It would be here, though. Did I just not look carefully enough? No, there's, like, nothing in here. So we're getting the county name from the county, though. We're setting the county since we already go. So I remember this being a problem actually a while ago. Oh, we're setting it right here. I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Um, Assigning the county data to. I'm hoping this will pull my out. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I'm so fucked if I do this. To the county scene. All right. I was like, I had to have done that before. All right, I'm gonna call it a day though. Well, what do we got? What is this area that we got here? Let's finish this death thing, I think. Well, let's finish this part. Then after that, we're getting. Where was that? Get county from ID. Get county from location ID. That's under county data. Get. Oh, it's right here. Get county. Yeah, that would have been pretty. What? That would have been pretty major. Get. Was that not there? Get improvement name. Oh, it's in globals. Globals. And it's not static. Get county data from location ID. And then we can just say location. Here we got a problem though. Already we got a problem. The location of the dead guy, of a dead guy, is not going to be here. We want to put this. What we could. We're going to put a note here. Put this county data here. So this is going to be different. So we're going to have two different things basically in here. One of them needs to be like a location of where they came from, and one of them because their population data. Well, actually, this wouldn't apply. But this county data, it's going to put a list of dead people in they're basically being the wrong dead people list. This one wouldn't reply, but we could do county data visiting army hero list, remove this. I think I had this the other day and then I took it away. County data visiting hero list. It weirds me out that it doesn't throw an error when you do this. If there's no one in this list. So they're going to be in the wrong dead people list. But does that matter? Right now the dead people list doesn't do anything, but it's going to be confusing. I'm going to put a note on this, and I'm going to put a note in the thing. If a visiting person dies, they are going to go into the wrong dead people list. Then let's go back to squigs get. So that's not squigs get full name. Let's go to here. Then we're going to push this code, get rid of this crap, go back to here. And I'll think about this. Well, maybe I'll think about it today. Finish when people die in combat. It may not matter. Currently, when a person dies in combat, we could sort it by they are put in the dead people list for that county. We could make that list well, we never showed anywhere. When we show that list somewhere, we need to make it by faction or something. Why do we even have that list? Maybe we don't need that list at all. And up to the top for this thing. And then I am going to push this and we're going to call it a day. Not that many files are changed this time. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes, you know, I feel like we're changing a bunch of files because we changed one, like the name of something. Damage is now getting applied to combatants. Some people even die. Commit, push. Push. All right, that's it for me today. I will most likely stream tomorrow. Thank you guys. Same time, maybe? Yeah. Thank you guys for joining me, and have a good existence.